A listener in Green Bay, Wisconsin wrote to Dr. McGee about a pastor in a church that he attended. He says, "This pastor taught a series of classes about why Jesus called himself the Son of Man during the first part of his ministry on earth. The theory was that people were not mentally prepared to think of Jesus as the Son of God until the conclusion of his ministry, and if he had done so at the outset, he would have been seized immediately and his ministry prematurely ended. I would have thought that would be deceptive. What do you think?"
Well, you're certainly right there. Now, let me say this, that the premise that is given here that this teacher used is not factual. That's not the facts. And then the assumption that he draws from that is not accurate at all. Now, I'd like to look at it like that, by the way. Is it true that in the first part of the earthly ministry of the Lord Jesus that he did not use the term Son of God, but he reserved that as Son of Man? Now, I did some research because I wanted to be accurate in answering this question. The thing that I did, I got the concordance, and I followed through in all four Gospels the terms Son of Man and Son of God. The division is not that at the beginning of the ministry he used one and the other at the end. That's not true. In all four of the Gospels, you will find that Son of Man and Son of God are used at the beginning, and they're used at the end. Now, the emphasis is not upon that. In the Gospel of Matthew, he is the King, and it set forth that. And therefore, he must be in David's line. You do see an emphasis upon the term Son of Man, but also the Son of God is used. I'm not turning to references because I'd like for this party and others that are interested to get a concordance and follow through on this. It was, to me, a very profitable study that I had. And then in the Gospel of Mark, he's a servant there. He's the servant of God, and he's a miracle worker. Son of Man is emphasized there. Not at the beginning or at the end. It's all the way through. And you find when you come to Luke, there again, he is the perfect man. And the emphasis is on Son of Man, but on Son of God also. And at the end, the Gospel of John, why, it was quite interesting. The Son of God is used, but also Son of Man. And I recall that in class, the late Dr. Kuyper was our teacher in missions, and he had a very wonderful book called The Glory of God. And he, in that book, followed through and showed that the term Son of Man was really a higher term than Son of God, because all is going to culminate someday when the Son of Man is going to sit on the throne of David on this earth. So the division that he makes, that premise is not factual at all. All you have to do is just study it. Therefore, the assumption that he draws is entirely wrong. I don't think the Lord Jesus would have held back. I think he laid it on the line the very minute that he began his ministry. And certainly he would have not been deceptive at the very beginning, and he was not deceptive at the beginning. And therefore, to use that he did that because of the people, that just doesn't happen to follow through it at all. And that reveals, friends, why we have so many interpretations of the Bible today, is we start off with a premise that is not accurate, and then we draw our lesson from that, and our assumptions are wrong because actually our facts are not right. And that's certainly true in this particular case.